hello.
Hello. While I was working as EMS, they told me that something happened last big event, and officer ended up not making it off the bed.
I've wrangled the candidates. I'll be in the back.
We'll see you on the inside.
Wait, so it's Dylan versus who?
I'm locking us in here.
Interesting.
You want to pop back to the dressing room, Ron?
Yep, sorry.
Oh, Ron's moderating this shit? Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
I was actually
quit.
going to up until exactly 5 minutes ago. Typically I have the previous mayor moderate, but for reasons that should be obvious, that wasn't an option this time around. Just why I did try. I tried.
Hey, Ronald, do you need to get your makeup done? There's a chair right there for you. Not you, Ronald. Not you, Ronald. Not you, Ronald. This Ronald. Ronald Rump.
It's the Rump. Oh, shit, I got confused already. I think my makeup is on.
Oh my god. Well, so we're about to.
Beautiful.
Yeah. No, I mean nobody would dispute that. Do you guys have any questions before we get started? Because I think we're just about ready to go. I just need to check in with Duff.
Yeah. How do you plan to do this? Do you want to call us to walk out one at a time? Like what's the game plan?
Yeah. So we're gonna be super convoluted about it. I'm gonna go out there first because it's my TV station and I want to be on camera. And I'm gonna say hello.
Of course,
doing a
you
goddamn
reserve that
debate.
right. Yeah,
I'm
how
gonna
do
say,
you plan to do this? Do you
introducing our
call
host,
us to
and
walk
people are gonna
out
think
one
I'm
at
the
a
host.
time? Like
Fake out.
what's the game?
It's Ron, and then I'll call Ron out, and then I will run back here, and then Ron will call you guys out, and I'll be here to let you know if you can't hear him.
Okay, so but he's gonna call
we
them one at a
should be able
time.
to. Yeah. Just do it just like that, Ron.
Wait, that makes us related
Okay,
too, then.
so can I be
if we-
called last?
Why?
Hello.
Because
We should
I need
flip a
to
coin.
I need to practice my religion and pray before I walk out there. And I have to have an empty room to pray.
Are you fucking with me?
No, I'm not. I'm a man of Jesus.
What is this? Is this some kind of game? All right. Yeah. We got you a prayer room. Come on.
I don't have a
I
key
get a prayer room.
because this is your fucking station.
Yes, sir.
There you go. All right. You guys should be able to hear me.
All right. Welcome to the prayer
I'll
room.
let you all both know when to walk up to this door.
Enjoy. I will not lock you in here, so you can get out.
Okay, I'm gonna do my prayer right quick.
If you stand here, you should be able to hear him, but I'll be on radio with him.
How do I look on camera?
2024.
Okay.
We're not on
Like
the
a
radio.
sexy bitch.
Oh, did I? Did I? Thank you.
Fuck you.
I'm very nervous.
Fuck you.
Ron, don't fuck it up.
I'm nervous. I'm nervous.
Are
Can
we
we hear
are we live? Okay.
Oh, we're live? Fuck.
Will you go on ahead and send me that link and I'll double check live on the air?
Can't actually. What the?
Liveception? Is that what you're doing right here? Liveception?
Liveception. Did you already post a vibe?
Bro, these fucking chairs.
Have you ever sat down in these chairs before?
Okay, I am watching.
Are we live?
I'm watching myself. Just kidding. Just kidding. It says live coverage coming soon. So if that's how you wanted it to be, that's how it is.
Nice and comfy, huh?
I guess that's what you wanted. You don't want me standing up there like a dickhead on camera, and that's why you got that card up, right? All right, Dove. I'm going to take that as a yes.
Yeah. Yeah. I really want them to yell at each other. I hope that happens. And then if not, I'm just getting super juicy questions. So.
Where are you going?
This is gonna be great.
Wait, is my dad
Let's
being bored right
go.
now? Oh, yeah.
Yo, sir, have you ever
Right, school.
sat down in these chairs before?
Yeah, what about him?
Go ahead and like think about like sit chair and tell me what you see. It has the view look from back here.
Yeah, that's not a thing. You're gonna have to do that manually.
Wait, how? I
What do
know
you mean
that, but
how?
even when I do that, it's the view is just terrible.
It takes practice. Well, actually, it looks better. It looks better on camera than it does from back there. I'll let you know if you look good.
Do you see what I'm talking about over there, sir? Alliance?
No, you look
Looks
really
good to me.
You look
Wait, it
really good
does?
from out here. It looks
Yeah, you look
perfect from out
solid.
here.
Yeah, it looks good.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it's smoke and mirrors, smoke and mirrors. As long as
Never
you're
mind,
halfway
behind- the man
close to
behind
being
the
on that
curtain.
chair, it's gonna look
Yeah,
good
they-
from over there.
Quick escape.
Yeah, but
Yeah, but what? What are you nervous?
What'd he say? Oh no, who's he whoring out?
it's hard to explain.
Oh, that's unusual. Have
Is
you
it?
tried? Have you tried? Yeah, oh yeah, I think so.
It's all of them though. I gotta be in the middle though.
So we're putting up the Porsche.
Yeah, that doesn't happen to me. What's
else
your
we
Wait,
you
what's
know, like-
another one?
I'm just sitting in a chair, sit chair.
Maybe I'll just sit like this tonight.
I mean, does that work for you?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, I mean, you look like a fucking pimp on a blimp,
Yeah, I think this will work just like this. This is good now.
Okay, get out of here now. I gotta
Wait,
introduce you.
Shit. I forgot about that.
I get my 10 seconds of fame. God damn it! I paid for this. Dove. Dove.
Are you ready, Mr. Rump?
Mic on.
Oh God, Dove. Let me know. Just count me in whenever you're ready to take that card away. Did you already take the card away? Do I look like, have I just been shouting like a dickhead live on the television?
Mic off.
Hello, Lucidians. It is I, Theodore Matherson, former kid detective, current adult detective, and media mogul. And tonight, live on Weasel News, we have the 8th mayoral debate. It's going to be cool. I think. I hope. Anyway, your host, Ronald Cunningham.
That's me. That's me. That's
I'm
me.
going to go away now. Goodbye.
Oh, thank you. Thank you all. I want to thank everybody for showing up. I've been so excited for weeks to host this debate. This is going to be great. I'm going to go ahead and, bring out the candidates right now. First, we're going to start with mayoral candidate number 1, Ronald Rump.
Hello.
Applause? Any applause? No applause. Okay. Oh, sorry. It's okay. Just stand right here for a second. The second candidate's gonna be a 1, Dylan Baker. Woohoo! Yay! All right. I hope everybody's excited. This is gonna be a debate for the ages. All right. Let's go have a seat. We got some water back here in case you get thirsty, okay?
Perfect. Thank you so much, Ronald.
Oh, no problem. All right. You just got to sit, Can everybody hear me out there?
Yep.
Yeah.
Hear you, not Ronald.
Wait, what? Don't confuse me. I'm very easily confused. Oh, there you go, Mr. Rump. And then, you good over there?
I'm good over here.
Mr. Baker? Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah. Go ahead and get started, Ronald.
Oh, you
I'm
just
just
want to
stretching
stand the
my
whole time?
I'm just stretching my leg.
Yeah. Ready to stand.
Just sit in the goddamn chair. What is this, amateur hour?
All right. Listen. There we go. All right. Okay. First, we're going to start you out with some pretty easy questions, and then we'll get into more of the, the spicier stuff as we go along. All right. Welcome to the 8th mayor debate of Lucid City. I'm so excited. First question, we'll start with Mr. Rump. Why are you interested in this position?
I think it was in my blood to become mayor of the state. I also feel like, some changes need to come around. We're going to make Lucid great again.
Okay, you want to make Lucid great again so it's not already great?
No, we're going to make it greater.
Make it greater. Okay. All right. Thank you, Mr. Baker. Same question for you. Why are you interested in this position?
Ron, that's a fantastic question. And if I'm being completely honest here, the reason I want to be mayor of Lucid City is for the sole purpose of giving our citizens their voice back. There have been far too many mayors who have passed laws within this city without getting the input of our community members. And if elected, my goal is to give that voice back to our citizens and ensure that they have a voice in everything that our government does.
All right. Thank you so much. Now, this is a yes or no question. It's very important to a lot of us here in the city. If you do become mayor, are you going to disappear?
Who is that directed to, Ron?
I'm sorry. I'll start with you first.
You said I can only say yes or no. I can't give any more.
No. This is a quick one.
Okay, repeat the question, Ron.
If you become mayor, are you going to disappear?
No.
Oh, good. What about you, Mr. Rump?
Nope.
Oh, perfect. That's what we all love to hear. I forgot to make an announcement at the beginning. If you have any questions you would like me to ask the candidates, please go ahead and send me a DM on Vibe. If you want it to be anonymous, let me know it's anonymous. If you don't tell me it's anonymous, I will say it. The question is from you. So just let me know. My DMs are always open. You can slide right into them. All right. All right. Next question. What we'll start with you, Mr. Baker. What do you think the rules are of the mayor?
What do I think the rules are of the mayor, or do you mean my responsibilities if I was to be elected?
Well, if you were going to be elected and be the mayor, what rules do you think? What does that entail?
Well, Ron, I think it's very important, number one, that if you're elected mayor, you need to make sure that you aren't involved in any sort of corruption. I mean, first and foremost, you are representing everyone within the community. And if you start to show any sort of favoritism to one person over another, or an organization over another, or a business over another, it's not going to look good for you. And then, you add into that the fact that someone might try to take advantage of your role as mayor and try to kind of loop you into some corrupt behavior. And I think that's going to have to be number one that we don't get involved in. Is we have to stay free of corruption. I think number two, it's really about working closely with our leaders within the community, such as the commissioner, the director of the hospital, and anyone else in a leadership position. From my understanding in previous conversations with other mayors, there is some financial management involved in being mayor. So you making sure that you're doing what you need to do with that, and you're not stealing any sort of funding from anyone else. Those are some of the base rules that I think, if they aren't in place already, should be, and if they are, that I think we need to ensure that we're following.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Do you have anything to counter that, Mr. Rump, or you just want to let me know what you think the rules are?
I will have to agree with my opponent here.
Okay. Is that your answer?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. I can see Mr. Rump is full of words tonight for this debate. He Very well prepared. All right. Next question. All right, we'll start with you, Mr. Rump.
How
Your job as the mayor will come with a lot of criticism. How do you plan to handle that?
I plan to handle it, how I usually handle things. I'm going to go onto social media, holler out fake news, stuff, the witch hunt, all that fun stuff. But, they have criticism. They should just come to me.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Do you need me to repeat the question, Mr. Baker, or do you remember it?
No, I remember the question.
All right.
Ron, I don't think running to social media and shouting fake news when someone doesn't agree with what you're doing as mayor is the appropriate answer. Are you going to be able to please everyone as mayor? Absolutely not. There will be naysayers. There will be people that support you. And the number one goal, if you are encountering people who, are those naysayers, is to open up that line of communication directly with the individual, invite them over to the office, have a conversation with them, see what it is that you can do for them to help make their life a little bit better. Of course, within the realms of our government and things like that. In addition to that, Ron, I think at the end of the day, people are going to believe what they want to believe, and that is their God-given right. If you don't like what you see coming out of the mayor's office, then if elected, I encourage you to show up to our city council meetings and voice those opinions so that we can do something about it.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Do you got anything to say to that, Mr. Rump, or are you good?
I'm good.
Okay. All right. All right. We actually, I'll go back and forth from what I have. We have actually a lot of questions from the audience. I got about 6 of them, so I'm going to try to pick out the best ones, maybe get through all of them, depending. This question is not anonymous. This question comes from Dakota Davis, who I believe is gas station 120 owner. If I'm wrong, somebody correct me that. I'll start with you, Mr. Rump. What are you going to do for this? This is from Dakota. What are you going to do for the struggling businesses in Lucid City?
I feel the taxes should be lowered.
The taxes should be lowered. Do you think that?
I think that would help out the businesses a lot.
I can see. Okay, that's not my spot to respond. Mr. Baker, I'll let you respond to that.
Of course, Ron. I would disagree with Mr. Rump here that lowering taxes is the answer. At the end of the day, I think there's a lot that we can do for our struggling businesses. First and foremost, I want to partner with the newly announced union that is available to help ensure that any open positions at any business has been turned over to that union so that the union can work to continue to advertise those positions and help them get filled. In addition to that, I would like to, have my director of human resources, so to say, they're going to be pretty much playing a position in our cabinet that will allow for them to start working with those who just move here, help them find jobs, refer them over to the union to look at those open positions, help them to become more acquainted with the community. So utilizing that will help these businesses maintain employees and have less of open positions. In addition to that, one of the things that I would like to look at doing is working with the IRS and working to establish a grant program for our businesses so that our businesses have an opportunity to receive grant funding from our government to help run their events if needed. So there's a lot that we can do. And again, I welcome anyone in the community to bring your ideas to the table as well. If elected, we will have those city council meetings that you've never seen before in this city. And you'll have an opportunity to voice your opinions and allow for us to come to some sort of conclusion as your government to help support your businesses.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right. We're going to take a question from my sheet of paper on my notes right here. Let's see. I'll start with you, Mr. Rump. Why should people vote for you and not Dylan Baker?
I think people should vote for me because I feel that prostitution should be legal. That's how not one of my ex-wives that way. Their body, their choice. I also feel that Berettas and vintages should be legal as well. There's nothing wrong with collecting guns, and we have a right to bear arms.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Would you like to respond to that, Mr. Baker? Or would you just like to tell people why they should vote for you instead of Mr. Rump?
You know what, Ron? I'll do both. Okay.
Okay,
I'll do
perfect.
both.
The floor is yours.
First and foremost, folks, while Mr. Rump wants to scream and shout prostitution should be legal, and that's why we should work on electing him as mayor instead of myself. At the end of the day, I think we need to listen to our community members, not pass our own policies that fit our own agenda. At the end of the day, the mayor works for you, the community, not ourselves. We should not be passing things to benefit ourselves. We need a mayor in office who will listen to our community, give them a seat at the table, and give them a voice. That is why you should vote for me.
What are your thoughts on Mr. Rump saying that prostitution should be legal? What's your stance on that?
My personal opinion on prostitution, I will say that I think that sex work is work. That's what prostitution is. Let's be honest. And I think that what we need to do is, instead of saying, hey, we're going to pass a law that says that prostitution is legal, let's poll our community members. Let's invite them in, give them a seat at the table, get their opinions.
Mm-hmm.
If the overwhelming majority say that they would support having prostitution, let's move forward with passing some sort of law to allow that to happen. If the overwhelming majority says no, then we listen to our community members because their voices matter.
Mm. Would you say that a prostitute getting pregnant has failed at their job?
I wouldn't say so. I think that would just depend on whether or not the prostitute wanted to get pregnant, or how they see it. I think failure is in the eye of the person, and at the end of the day, if you think you failed, get back up and try again.
Okay, perfect. And Mr. Rump, for you, if a prostitute gets pregnant, do you think they failed at their job?
Yeah, that's their choice.
Okay, I was just
if
curious on that one.
Dylan says over here.
This question is from Jake LeBlanc. Please don't take more than 10 seconds on this. He wants to know if you're going to fight for more cowboy hats. I'll start with you, Mr. Baker. Please, no longer than 10 seconds. This is very unimportant.
I will direct Mr. LeBlanc to the conversation we had outside earlier when he asked about the question.
Okay, and Mr. Rump, will you do anything for cowboy hats?
Sure, why not? Let's get some rainbow ones out there.
Perfect. All right, let me get another question for you from the audience. Let's see here. We talked about that. We got a lot of questions about businesses. This is a good one. This brings up the Lucid Union business, or Lucid Union. I don't know if you guys have seen that, but the question is, are there any changes you plan to make for the businesses? Are you going to be working close with the Lucid Union about the business things? It's from a concerned businessman is who they wanted me to say it was from. I'll start with you, Mr. Rump.
What was the question again?
Are you going to be working close with the Lucid Union about business things? Pretty much, are you going to work with the Lucid Union late? I can't remember the exact name. Please forgive me. The Lucid City Labor Union.
Yes, I will work with them.
Okay, perfect. And Mr. Baker, do you plan on working with the Lucid Union to make businesses better?
Oh, 100%. Back when we had our campaign rally, That was a question that was brought up, and the answer is still the same. In fact, I plan to add an additional role to our city council. Again, something we've never seen happen before is having an active city council. So I'd like to provide the leader of the union with a seat on the city council board so that they have their voice heard and they can also help to represent the businesses. In addition to that, we also plan to have 2 business seats available on the city council board to allow for businesses to have some sort of representation in city council. I also have a full cabinet that's going to be working day and night with our community members to ensure that their voices are being heard, that businesses, whatever they need, they can provide to our cabinet members or myself so that way we can figure out a plan to help the businesses in our community succeed.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Okay, we'll take another audience question. This person did not be anonymous. This is going to be coming from Raven Davis. With the recent snow that we had, what are you going to do about upkeep of our snow clearing equipment to prevent that from happening in the future? Apparently, a lot of people didn't like the snow. They want to know, what are you going to do to be able to clean these roads faster? Mr. Rump, we'll ask you first.
We're going to get some snow plows out there. We're going to try to keep our roads clear. It's not the greatest thing to drive in.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Baker?
I would say it's in our best interest to allocate more funding to our transportation department to help make sure those roads stay clear and that our community members are safe when they're out in those conditions.
I got another question about, no, that one's not really. That's no, we'll skip that one. Okay. Let's talk a little, let's get a little bit personal, find out a little bit more about you two individually. Maybe not so much your policies. I'll start with you, Mr. Baker. What is your greatest achievement?
I've had a lot of fantastic achievements. I would say my greatest achievement is my family. I have a very large family who are all fantastic, but I don't think that's the answer that you're searching for. In terms of my professional world, I would say my greatest achievement would be being the district attorney and having an opportunity to help serve this community and ensure that justice is served swiftly upon those who kind of break the laws. Specifically, I would say that our case that we had against a certain individual who had murdered several individuals, making sure that that individual was no longer allowed to see the light of day and terrorize our community members any further would be a fantastic achievement to dwell on.
Thank you. And Mr. Rump, what is your greatest achievement in your life?
My 7 ex-wives.
Thank you. All right.
7. Wow, that's a lot.
All right. Would anybody like to come up here and ask a question? Just, come up on stage and ask a question. You can raise your hand. I'll call you up. Anybody? Nope. Okay. Let me see if I got any more questions.
Looks like Sola Hills might have a question.
Sola, come up here, stand next to the desk, and ask the question.
Hello. So my question is, what are your top 3 priorities for the city and how do you plan to achieve them?
Oh, thank you so much. So we'll start with you, Mr. Rump.
Well, besides, making the guns legal, prostitution legal, I also want to work with the hospital to find a common ground because I've heard a lot of complaints about all of that changes from Montana.
Would you like to elaborate?
I know the heads of the hospital were not happy about when Blanca came in and changed the price of Nurse Rush without any discussion.
Okay. All right. So what were your 3 achievements? Or what was the 3 goals? Could you name them again?
Legalizing Berettas and vintages, prostitution, and working with the hospital.
Okay. And for you, Mr. Baker?
Absolutely. My top 3 priorities, if elected, is going to have to start with the office of the mayor. And that means being an active leader for this community. We've seen far too many times the mayor is elected, they're here for a little bit of time, and they just vanish. It's like they didn't even care enough about our community or our community members to stick through and see the job get completed. That's not going to happen under my watch. My number 1 priority is being here for each of you. For those of you who came to our campaign rally, you heard me say it, and I'll say it again here, live on TV, that if elected mayor, you will see me every single day during my tenure as mayor. Number 2, providing a voice to every citizen in this community, giving them transparency into our government, which means enacting our city council board, allowing for the community members to come to city council to bring any grievances, ideas, concerns to the board for action to be taken. You want to protest something to get something done, you come to city council and we will hear you out. Number 3 is to focus on our businesses. Help them thrive. Without our businesses, we don't have a community. This includes the hospital. I plan to work with Mount Zona leadership to see what we can do to ensure that our medical staff receive fair wages. I have heard too many complaints about how much our medical staff make, and that needs to change. Without our medical staff, we would be sick, we would be frail, and we would be dying. That has to change.
Okay. And how do you expect that to change? Just a follow-up question.
Well, first it has to start with conversations with the medical staff. We need to review their current pay at all levels, and we need to work together to find a reasonable figure for each level of employment over at the hospital. It has to start with a conversation, and it has to be someone who is willing to put in the work and ensure that those conversations take place. Not someone who makes a promise, goes in, changes something without even a single word from any member of the community, and then doesn't do anything for the employees. We have to go in, we have to have the conversation, and at that point we can start looking at figures. We can look and see if we need to look at the taxes to see if there's something that we can utilize to help fund our medical employees.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. This question is only going to be from Mr. Rump. Nobody in the city knows who you are. How do you expect people to vote for you when you haven't even been around?
I just figured, social media, that's where I would find at the time.
So your goal is to run a campaign through social media,
Yes.
and you think that's going to be effective?
Yes.
Okay.
Ron, if I could please respond to that.
Oh, go for it. Please do.
I find it very intriguing that a candidate for mayor is only running a campaign on social media. Social media doesn't connect with our community members. It takes conversations, Mr. Rump, with individual people face to face to understand what it is they need. No more hiding behind a keyboard. If you plan to run this campaign solely on social media, then my question to you, Mr. Rump, is do you plan to only be a social media mayor and not active in the community?
That's a
No,
great question.
I
Go
plan to be active in the community and on social media. It just feels like, there's times when, people are asleep or they're just, in their houses. And
Isn't
they're
that when
able
you're supposed to be working the hardest? Is when everybody else is asleep. You're supposed to stay awake and grind and make this city better, but you're just posting on social media?
Yes.
Or,
There's
Mr.
nothing
Rump,
wrong with it.
do you plan to utilize your time as mayor and your position of mayor, if elected, to find your next ex-wife?
No, I don't plan to find my next ex-wife. I just have a lot of ex-wives, okay?
I'll throw it back to you, Ron.
Listen, this one's going to, Mr. Rump, you recently posted on social media that you wanted Emma Cunningham to be your next ex-wife. How do you respond to that? After you just said you're not looking for your next ex-wife.
Oh, I was just joking around with her.
Oh, now you're joking. Okay, thank you. All right, so I'm getting a lot of questions here. Hold on, give me 1 second to look at all these. Hold on.
Ron, that question seemed a little personal.
No, definitely not personal.
That sounded like, that sounded very personal.
This is a good question that I like. This one comes from she didn't ask for it to be anonymous, so this comes from a Sola Hills. What measures, I'll start with you, Mr. Baker. What measures will you implement to boost local tourism?
That is a fantastic question, Sola. I'm so glad to see you out in the audience today. A fantastic member of what's soon to be our cabinet if we were to win this election as our director of public relations. And we've had a lot of extensive talks about this. And I think the biggest thing is we need to ensure that we have an active leadership, not just as the mayor, but as our cabinet, in which Lance will be filling, Mr. Triplett will be filling the role to ensure that those who come here to visit, to see if they want to move here, they'll have an experience. They'll have someone to help guide them, help get them started, and help them find this place to be their next home. We need to look at a lot of different aspects to really encourage people that come here to visit to stay. And that means making sure that we're encouraging conversation with them, that we're bringing them into the community as though they've been here forever, that we're working with them and understanding what type of job they are looking for, and then working with the businesses and the union to help ensure that they can find a job that will suit their needs, that will suit their interest. We have to cater to these folks just like we plan to cater to our citizens who have been here forever. We need to show them that this is the community that they belong to, and that Lucid City is a place that everyone can call home.
Okay. This question is for. Oh, I'm sorry. Mr. Rump, go ahead and respond to that. What are you going to do for local? Sorry, let me get the question again. So, terrible moderator. What measures will you implement to boost local tourism for the city?
Advertising, sponsoring the city a little bit more, maybe getting some more events going throughout the city. I don't really see a lot of events anymore lately.
Okay. This is true. What type of events do you plan to run?
I mean, there should be more racing events, and we see a lot of those that much. Maybe
How would you
some,
know? There's been
or maybe
plenty
an
of
adult,
racing events.
maybe an adult run type thing with alcohol. People get dressed up not just for PD or medical people, but the whole city. Let them have a big party, maybe down at the docks or something like that.
Down at the docks? You want to go down to where all the shipping containers are? Why won't you go somewhere
Down-
beautiful
down
like the
at-
pier?
Yeah, the pier.
Oh, okay. So you want to have more racing events, which there's been a lot of racing events. Shout out to the people, they know who they are for doing all the racing events. Okay. All right. Listen, I don't know if this has ever been done before, but this is a question. Let me see who this is from. This is from Anonymous. This question is for Ron Cunningham. What do you think the mayor needs to do to win your vote? Listen, that's personal, and I'm not going to answer that. Next question.
Well, hold on, Ron. Hold
Hold on.
I think it's important that you, as the moderator, should share with the audience what it is that one would have to do to win someone like your vote.
Okay. You want to know what's going to win my vote?
The election is upon us, Ron.
This is true. It is, listen, I should really know this as a moderator, but I'll announce it later. But when are people voting?
That would be a fantastic question for our staff at Weasel News. Should we have an ad break?
Hey,
Ad break,
I'm right
ad
here.
break.
No, I'm right here. There's no fucking ad break. Nobody wants to
go for
advertise
it.
on
Let 'em
Weasel.
know.
We're fucking going broke, guys. Come on. Voting's gonna happen more or less immediately after we're done here. We're just gonna go to City Hall and you just fucking vote. I mean, you've all done it a million times.
Will there be
It's
multiple
happening.
days?
So there you
that's
have
a-
it.
That
That's a paid Benny's ad.
Thank you. Benny's just advertised. If you go to Benny's, or I'll fucking kill you in your sleep. I swear to God, I'm unhinged. I'm crazy. I'm
Wait, are you
crazy.
saying
I've
I
lost
could-
my mind.
Are you saying I could pay you some money right now for you to advertise for the Dylan Baker campaign?
Negative. I don't do political advertisements.
Weasel News. We weren't done.
Shit.
Is it only one night, or are they going to have multiple nights to vote?
That depends on how it goes. I'm only
Okay.
announcing tonight, but there's probably going to be more opportunities to vote beyond tonight.
Thank you.
But come tonight,
All right.
or you're a fucking coward.
So, Ron, with that being said, why don't you tell us?
Right. What is going to take my vote? I really want somebody who is, this is going to sound pretty simple and cliche. I want somebody who's going to be around and prove to me they'll be around. Somebody that's been around before the election and they're going to be around after the election. I ain't trying to vote for somebody that's going to disappear or I never see, or they just might be on social media. I'm not dealing with that. I want somebody who is going to be around.
Well, the Dylan Baker campaign thanks you for their support, Mr. Cunningham.
I didn't say who I'm voting for. All right, listen, we got a really good question right here. This question comes from my Lord Skullator. I'll ask you, Mr. Baker.
Is he vibing from jail?
Listen, I may have a secret connection to him. Please don't ask me about a PD. I'm not getting into this. Wait, is he arrested?
They're secretly a couple.
Wait,
they removed him. They removed him from my house at our campaign rally at the end of it.
To be honest, I definitely know this to be fact. He is not in jail. All right. Don't worry about how I know this. This isn't good. Anyway, which one of you? I'll start with you, Mr. Rump. Which one of you two is the most kidnappable and why? And that comes from Lord Skullator.
Well, I only live off of a diet of 20 Heartstoppers a day, and I'm in peak human condition. I don't think he can kidnap me.
So you're in peak condition. He can't kidnap you. All right, Mr. Baker.
I would have to say that Mr. Rump would probably be the most kidnappable. And the reason for that is I will quote Lord Skullator from our campaign rally. If there's a good mayor, there's no reason to kidnap them. And I think through our entire campaign and even and this may sound a little cocky, but even this debate, I would have to say, I think I've proven that I would be a good mayor for every citizen in this community. On top of that, I would like to look directly at the camera, if you don't mind, for one moment, just in case Lord Skulator is watching. Dove, if you'll just direct me to where I need to be to look directly into the camera lens. Or Mr. Matherson, can you direct me?
Mic on.
Am I looking at the right spot? Okay, perfect.
I'm
My
turning it
left.
on vibe to double check that you're actually facing the right way.
How's that?
Oh, there's the vibe link. Yeah,
Looks
it
good.
looks good. You look great.
This message is
Mic
directly
off.
for you, Lord Skulator. Your days of terrorizing our community are numbered. As I told you at the campaign rally, whoever chooses to attempt to kidnap me will not succeed. Take those words to heart, Lord Skulator.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. This next question actually is for me. Listen, recently there's been a hike in robot terrorism / bank robberies. What are you going to do to combat AI and make sure these robots don't take over the world? I'll start with you, Mr. Rump.
Well, they're robots. Just kidnap them and throw them in the ocean. They ain't gonna survive in the water.
Thank you. Mr. Baker.
Well, if I'm being completely honest with you, I think our first step is to work alongside our law enforcement officers to ensure that a thorough investigation is ongoing and is able to identify where these robots are coming from. That way we can go directly to the source and prevent them from happening or being out in the community any further. Now, whoever it is that would like to, or who is creating these robots, if you would like to create good, upstanding robots that can act like normal human beings and be upstanding citizens, that's fine. But if your goal is to continue to plug these evil robots into our community, we will find you and we will put a stop to it.
Thank you. Thank you. We must stop the robots. You know, they took me hostage the other night. That wasn't very fun.
Did you call the police?
Well, I mean, the police were there. It was at a G6 robbery. And then they held a
Wow.
gun to my head and I had to do the thermite.
That's not good, Ron.
No, I
That's not
almost
good.
blew up. All right.
Did you get
Enough
a
about
look
that.
at- Okay, we'll talk later.
Of course I got it first try. Duh. What is the mayor? We'll start with Mr. Rump. What is the mayor going to do about all the homeless people? You know, this has been brought up at previous debates before. I think this is the third debate I've moderated. I can't remember. He says this
homeless
actually
people.
comes straight through, straight from Vibe. What is the mayor going to do about the homeless people? I can't walk down the street without 15 bums surrounding me, begging me for change. Well, what do you plan to help? How do you plan to help them?
I feel like they need like their own little soup kitchen, maybe a little shelter for them, maybe like, do some charity and help raise up some money, get them on their feet, get them some nice clothes, try to find them a job, stuff like that.
I mean, you can still be homeless and have a millionaire parent.
Okay, for you,
Fair, but not if they
Mr. Baker.
change the law. Actually.
Well, I think first and foremost, Ron, in order to help solve our homelessness problem, we need to have, as I've stated several times, active leadership and a cabinet that is engaged with the community. Which means our cabinet members, whoever will be assigned that particular role, will go out and try to start working with these homeless individuals. Figure out what's led them to where they are and if they're willing to help themselves. Because at the end of the day, we can only help those who want to help themselves. If they are willing to get help, then we will provide them with the necessary assistance to get on their feet. And I personally, out of my own pocket, will help put them up at Mile High for an extended period of time until they are able to get themselves on their feet.
Okay.
Now, Ron, I just had a glance at Vibe.
Yeah, I was just about to, are you bringing up the Hazel Quinn post?
Absolutely.
All right, good. I got you. I got you. I was just about to bring it up too. Hazel Quinn on Vibe. I don't know if this is a question. I don't really know, but
I think
I'll
it's
let
a
you
statement.
both. Yeah, I think it's more of a statement as well. So, Mr. Rump, I'll let you respond to her statement. Ms. Hazel Quinn says, so they want funding increase for EMS that has a starting pay of 1.5K, but not for PD when a starting pay of $450. I risk my life every day for my job and rarely see EMS on duty, but PD are always the bad guys. How do you respond to that to make sure you understand what she's saying and you're here for them?
I feel like, yes, EMS is, never around anymore, but I feel like I see more PD every day. In fact, there's a few officers over there. I feel like their pay should be raised. Like, yes, they're getting shot at every day, but they have to pay for their own cars. They have to pay for their own guns. 450 starting pay is not fair.
Okay.
I can see it. I think it should be at least like a starting of 800 and moving up.
Okay, Mr. Baker.
I would disagree with 800. I think that starting pay for officers should be relatively higher than 800. And
well, you got to think about the probies.
Let me finish my statement. Miss Quinn, if you're watching, I don't know if you're here or if you're watching from home, but I apologize for not including PD in my earlier statement about raising funding at the hospital. It is my intention to work alongside your commissioner and your assistant commissioner to ensure that PD is also taken care of. You guys are out here on a daily basis, and excuse my language, but you're busting your ass. You put up with a lot of craziness. We've had several in-depth conversations. I've seen it from the side of being a private attorney and working alongside of you, and also being the DA and knowing what you guys are paid. So you have my promise, Miss Quinn, that if elected, within the first week, I'll be sitting down with the commissioner and the assistant commissioner to see what we can do about raising your pay. I also encourage you, Miss Quinn, and any of your fellow officers to contact me if elected so we can have an open forum conversation on what you all feel would be the best pay for each of you.
All right, Mr. Rump, did you want to respond to that?
Nope.
You were trying to interrupt him. Now you don't want to respond?
Oh, no. I was just saying 800 for probies. Then move along.
Okay.
I mean, probies get shot more than we do, so.
Listen, I'm just gonna say this. I've got like 4 or 5 questions about PD pay tonight through through Vibe, through text. I think that should be maybe one of the first. Whoever gets elected, that should be a high priority on your list to deal with that. Apparently, they are not happy with their pay. Just throwing it out there.
That conversation will happen in the first week if elected.
There you go. Ron, you hear it, PD?
I want to throw this also out there, Ron. I think unemployment also needs to be raised a little bit as well. I think that when people move here and they're trying to get themselves established or trying to figure out exactly what it is they want to do, our current unemployment pay does not give them enough money to even eat. We need to change that. We don't want people moving here and ending up joining those who are already homeless. So we've got to make that change and increase our unemployment pay as well.
Okay. Listen, this one's going to be a little bit more spicy one. This is directed to you, Mr. Baker. I don't know who he's talking about, so if you do, you refresh my mind. You refresh everybody's mind. Mr. Baker, why did you defend a murderer after the murderer admitted to the crime? I don't know what he's talking about. but that's the question from Anonymous.
Oh, absolutely. I'd be more than happy to answer that question.
Okay.
First and foremost,
can you like give us a summary of who he's talking about if you can? I don't know if you can or not, but
absolutely. It was a public trial.
Okay.
I would only assume that this anonymous individual is referring to the case against Mr. Euro Fontana that happened just a few short weeks ago.
Okay.
And my job as an attorney isn't just to pick and choose the cases that I take on. If someone comes to me and they want to hire me, I plan to assist every community member the same way. If you were the one who was being accused of murder, even if you admitted it to the police, I would still sit down with you to find the best defense for yourself. Now, one of the things I want us to be very clear on, well, yes, Mr. Fontana did admit to the stabbing. Mr. Fontana also, as disclosed in court, has a medical condition called PTSD. So I would encourage folks to take a little bit of time to research and understand how PTSD can affect one in those very intense states. Do I believe that justice was served and the judges ruled appropriately? I don't. But at the end of the day, we take our loss, we hold our chin up high, and we work towards rehabilitation for those who have committed such offenses.
Thank you. All right, this question is also from Anonymous for both of you. I would respond and ask you questions about that, but I don't know anything about that, so sorry. This question is from Anonymous. What are your plans to make our city more pedestrian and cyclist friendly? We'll start with you, Mr. Rump.
First of all, I would lower the speed limit. I mean, 70 is a little too fast in the city.
You want to lower the speed limit? Listen,
Yes.
I think I've counted 20 people in here, and I think everybody but yourself is going to disagree with that. Even PD probably.
I mean, you got pedestrians and bicyclists. I mean, half of the people.
Do you know how fast those bikes go? You ever rode a bike? It doesn't look like it.
Depends on what kind of bike you're riding.
Okay. They go like 40, 50 miles per hour.
You know, they're still dangerous. Maybe.
That's why you got to wear a helmet.
Yeah. You think anybody wears a helmet in the city?
Yeah. We went on a bike ride the other night. There was about 10 or 12 of us out there on the bike, and they all had crevice helmets. Unfortunately, they were sold out of the crevice helmets, so I had a Evel Knievel helmet on, protecting myself. So yes, we do protect ourselves as cyclists.
But that's not going to protect them from being ran over by somebody getting like high speeding down the road. I don't see a lot of people getting pulled over for speeding lately.
What do you mean? Do you know how many speeding tickets I've gotten last week?
Have you paid them?
Of course. And I fought them in court, and I lost both of them.
Well, I say lower the speeding.
Okay. You ought to hear first. Mr. Rump wants to lower the speed limit. Mr. Baker, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I'm gonna do two things here. I'm gonna answer the question that you received via Vibe, but I'm also gonna respond real quick to Mr. Rump. Do I personally feel as though the speed limit was raised by Mayor Stark to be a little too high? 110%. However, it's not my job to take my opinions and force them upon our community members. If our community would like to see it lowered, we will lower the speed limit, but it will be their decision, not mine. Now, in addition to that, to answer the question about ensuring that there is, repeat the question, Ron, something about making sure that our cyclists are protected or something like that.
Yeah, recently there's been an uptick in cyclists. How, we all have our little, gosh, I can't remember the name of the bike, tri-bike maybe. And we've been going around town. And I think this anonymous person just wants it to be a little bit safer for pedestrians and cyclists because they may or may not get run over by people on cars that weren't even speeding and allegedly didn't even see them, but this anonymous person got ran over.
Okay, well,
I don't know how I know that, but I know it. Just allegedly, hypothetically.
Perfect,
I
Ronald.
feel like these talking. So
I think that what we should probably do is look at potentially if we can get the community to agree and they support it, passing a specific speed limit law for specific areas, such as Legion Square. Fantastic place to go biking. And maybe we should put a cap on the speed limit in that particular area. Maybe we can identify some other areas that cyclists enjoy cycling to ensure that the speed limit is safe for all members of the community entering into that area, whether it be in a vehicle or whether it be on a bike. In addition to that, I would want to make more people aware of the current areas that have safe biking areas. I, for one, have spent several mornings biking around at the observatory to get my exercise in, biking down at the beach. There's a fantastic path already lined up for you at the beach. Utilize those areas as well. But if you want to bike around the city, we have to come together as a community and identify the areas that we can truly focus in on to make them more sustainable to those bikers.
I agree. It's dangerous out there. It's dangerous out there for those bikers. They just get ran over all the time.
True.
I don't know who would ever run over a biker.
Neither do I. It sounds like someone needs to be reporting the hit and runs.
Oh no, I'm pretty sure they picked him up and took him to the hospital. I don't think it was
that's
a hit
good.
and run.
That's good. You seem to know a lot about this, Ron.
What do you mean?
yeah,
Wait, what do you mean? This is what I've been told.
Oh, okay. I like it, Ron. I like it.
Okay. I don't really know. This is a very vague question. This is coming from Anonymous. What if you are elected mayor, Mr. Rump, what are you going to do about the gangs and drugs in our city? Personally, I wish they would have asked or said what's wrong with the gangs, but that's all I got. So it's not much. But go for it.
gangs and drugs in the city. Let's see.
Gangs and drugs in our city.
Well, first of all, I mean, if the police get a raise or something, maybe more people can be hired on for the police and start cracking down on them. I mean, what if? Hold on a second.
You don't think going to talk to the gangs and seeing why they're upset or why they're doing all what they're doing. But you want to just hire more police, and you think that's the solution?
Well,
Ron, stop taking my challenges.
Listen, this is Mr. Rump. You're not making this easy. You got this. Go ahead. Keep answering these questions. You're doing great.
I was just gonna say yes. I mean, I would probably address them personally, and then ask about what they would like in demands. I saw a vibe with how the police moved up to Toledo. They were happy about that. A lot of deaths that I'd seen.
Do you know why they moved up to Toledo?
Not 100% sure.
I bet Mr. Baker does, because he's in the city and he knows what's going on.
Are you ready for me to answer, Ronald or Ron?
Yes.
Yeah.
Go for it.
I first want to challenge Mr. Rump here because 16 days ago on Mr. Rump's Vibe page, Mr. Rump said that he's going to build a wall around Cayo and Cayo is going to pay for it. We have to keep the legal guns and drugs out of Lucid City. In addition to that, you've just heard Mr. Rump say, if the police get a raise, maybe that'll encourage more individuals to join PD to help crack down on the gangs and the drugs in our community.
I can't build walls around the city. I can only build walls around Cayo.
Neither of those are the answer, folks. Number one, building a wall around Cayo doesn't keep people out or keep things from coming from Cayo into our community.
Yeah, you don't think they got ladders?
There's ladders, there's helicopters, folks. It doesn't stop it. In addition to that, I don't think Cayo's government is in a position to pay for a wall, which means if elected, Mr. Rump would probably have to utilize some of your taxpayer dollars to build this wall. And that, again, doesn't solve the solution. The real way to handle this is to sit down, have some conversations with these quote unquote gangs. I'm also curious from a legal standpoint why we're classifying or how we are coming up with the classification to call them gangs to ensure that it's actually being used correctly. Because at the end of the day, everyone in here could be considered a gang member just for us all gathering and potentially putting on the same outfit. I don't think that's enough. So we need to sit down and we need to have conversations with these individuals who are being labeled as gangs to, one, A, determine if they are, in fact, a gang. Two, we need to appeal to them as to what it is that they need or what we can do to help prevent these crimes that are happening from a gang-related standpoint. It has to start with conversations.
All right, thank you.
Oh, you're cutting me off? Okay.
Yeah, I'm cutting you off for the first time tonight. Thank you.
Sorry, I'm very long-winded.
No, you're good. You're good. Thank you. All right, this may or may not be the last question unless I get a few more. It has been about an hour, so we're doing good. This question is for you, and it comes from A1 Blanca. I think her last name's Stark still. Why did you drop out of running for mayor when she announced she was going to be mayor next or run for mayor last term?
Who, me?
Yes.
I didn't drop out of running for mayor. I never announced my candidacy. Said it was a thought. However, at that time, I felt that it was necessary to continue to support my husband's business, which has now become my business.
Nice. And that's do you want to, free plug, go ahead.
Cockatoos is for sale. We're accepting offers no less than $1 million.
I respect it. Okay.
Just a heads up. So, I didn't find that the time was right. I didn't feel in my soul that it was my time to run.
Okay. All right. Mr. Rump, why are you running right now? Why do you think this is your time to become mayor?
Well, it feels like, nobody else was stepping up to the plate. I might as well take that and go against Mr. Baker here.
Okay. All right. You said you wanted to go against Mr. Baker. All right. I think I might have asked this before, but why should we vote for you over Mr. Baker? I need 5 good reasons. That should be pretty easy.
Well, first of all, I'm in peak human physical condition. I'll be here a lot more often. I want to help the community. I want to, make those gun collectors happy. I want to work with the hospital, help that out, and work with PD.
Why do you want to work with PD?
To help them get that raise. That $450 is a joke.
Okay. And what do you want to do for EMS?
I want to help them work out the whole nurse rush thing. I know that was just sprung upon them against their wishes. They had no conversations with the former mayor. Okay. And I want to find a level ground with them.
Say you were elected tonight. Say for some reason the voting ends tonight and you're elected. What's your first thing you're doing?
Going straight to PD and having a conversation with them about their pay raise.
So it doesn't matter who's there. You're just gonna go straight there. You're not gonna like try to set up a meeting with maybe
I will try to set up a meeting.
Okay, you said you're going straight there, so I'm thinking you're going straight from the courthouse after the polls close, straight to PD and just talking to whoever's there. That's not going to do any good.
Not like I could leave like a message with them or
with them, so you're not going to go straight there. You're going to try to set a meeting and then go there.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Make sure I understood. What was the first thing you wanted to do about the 5 things you wanted to do as the mayor? I forgot the first one.
Make Berettas and vintages legal.
Why? What do you think how does that help the city?
Well, I mean, they're just pistols. And we do have a right to bear arms, but it is part of the Second Amendment.
Okay, but
now
you even know with that amendment, the gun still needs to be registered. You can't have unregistered firearms. And the reason Berettas and vintage pistols are illegal is because they're not registered.
Ron, if I may.
Oh, yeah.
I'd like to redirect Mr. Rump to his own statements on Vibe.
Let's hear it.
That he plans to build this wall around Cayo because we have to keep illegal guns and drugs out of Lucid City. Now, this is something directly from Mr. Rump's own Vibe page 16 days ago, and now you have him sitting here before you, changing his tune to say that he now wants to take these illegal guns and make them legal.
Well,
make it make
sense. AKs legal.
Make it make sense.
Go ahead, Mr. Rump. How do you respond to that?
I'm saying, like, if they want Berettas or vintages, there should be nothing wrong with that. But the AKs, the Tech 9s, the Scorpions, all them, no. Those will stay illegal.
But Mr. Rump,
did you know? Wait. Did you know that 72% of mass shootings are done with a pistol?
What was that again?
Did you know 72% of mass shootings are done with a pistol? So you're telling me a pistol is less dangerous than an AK?
Well, I've seen people beat up each other with baseball bats.
Okay.
Are you saying baseball bats should be illegal?
They're not killing multiple people. If somebody has a baseball bat, they're not going to kill 20 people.
They could.
Don't be too sure about that one.
I just want to say this.
I'll kill you.
Ron.
Oh, sorry. It slipped out. I'm the moderator. I forgot.
Somebody want to volunteer as tribute to test that theory?
Yeah.
I don't understand.
Real quick.
What the point of taking an illegal? You're either for taking all illegal weapons and making them legal.
I think we should test it.
Or you were for
what are we testing?
Keeping the illegal weapons,
which is more dangerous?
Illegal.
I think you should
a
test
baseball bat or a gun?
Yeah, just fucking test it. Live on Weasel. Come on.
I think we're moving away from.
Have a bat.
I think so. I think we're moving away from the point. Again, I would like to understand from Mr. Rump here. Yes, you're talking about taking 2 guns that are illegal. If they're illegal for a reason, you've already stated you want to keep illegal weapons out, but now you're changing your tune and you're making an exception for these 2 weapons specifically. Why? Why these 2 weapons specifically?
They're just handguns, and maybe people want vintages. I mean, what if their grandfather gave them a vintage? Maybe they want to keep their hand-me-down and not have it invaded by police.
So then why not work with the court system to allow it to be a registered unoperable or inoperable firearm that they can't utilize versus making the full realm of vintages and Berettas legal for people to carry around and shoot people with?
Now,
I'm trying to understand your logic.
No,
listen.
Hold on 1 second. Let me just ask this serious question. You want to help businesses, but you want to make other guns that are legal that these businesses can't make. So therefore, then when they want to sell their legal guns, that people aren't going to need to buy them because they can get these guns anywhere else. How does that help a business?
Well, wouldn't the gun owner be able to make a Beretta or a vintage?
Yeah, they can. That's what I'm saying. You're going to take away from businesses?
Well, I'm saying that the business owners.
Huh?
Battery low.
Or could they not make Berettas or vintages to sell in the store?
As a previous the previous owner of an ammo store, they cannot make Berettas or vintages.
Well, I feel like that should be changed.
Okay. All right. Does anybody else have any questions? Anybody? I'll take any questions. Anybody?
No, they're both fuckwits.
Jesus.
That sounds like, who is that?
It's Larry you spit.
Oh,
It's not your
it's
son.
it's Larry. Don't mind Larry. He doesn't even
Okay.
understand politics. Sometimes he doesn't even know how to spell his own last name.
I
Listen,
sent you several questions you haven't read out.
I know, but wait, who's talking?
Read the questions, Ronald. He
They're
sent you questions. Read the
they're
questions.
super boring. What do you want me to do?
I want you to read them, and I want you to make them not boring. It's TV, Ronald.
Hey,
Question for the
I sent you a
candidates.
question and then somebody tagged you in it and you still didn't read it.
Yeah, well, how about you?
Do you know how many
about
fucking
you?
notifications I'm getting right now?
Well, how
I
about
can't
you
even-
check the notifications where I'm tagging you and you read the
I
thing?
have been.
Okay,
They
we'll do it
made
more.
the path bike down the beach. Quit whining and go down to the beach. Cool. All right.
That's fucking content, Ronald. Thank you.
Let's see. All right. I read that one. Okay. Hold on. Okay. I did the homeless one. What the hell one am I missing? All right. Let's see here. What are you going to do as a mayor? As a mayor, what are you going to do about no lawyers to handle civil cases? I'll start with you, Mr. Rump.
I was going to say our lawyers are around more often now, especially on every Wednesday.
I would.
I would say yes, I am.
Yeah, Mr. Baker is. You know, lawyers don't inherently have to go to open court on Wednesdays. You know, it's very encouraged. But as you can see, last time I didn't get a lawyer and I got found guilty on both. It may or may not be because I got beat up and I lost the duel, but that's not important. Okay.
To answer the
Yeah,
question,
Watching this debate, no wonder you got beat up.
to answer
Can I
the
get that guy's
question-
name so I can kill him later?
Wow.
We're on TV.
Are we gonna need to arrest you?
All right. To answer the question about
Officer.
what we're going to do about ensuring that there are lawyers around to handle civil cases, the question I have for the person who asked that question is, have you tried contacting every attorney? Because I know from working alongside of a lot of these people who I consider to be colleagues are very responsive. I'll say, for instance, Brad Taylor, fantastic attorney, pretty responsive. Aaliyah Blue, fairly responsive. There are several attorneys that you just need to reach out to and have that conversation with them. I myself, if elected mayor, still plan to carry on my law license. Still plan to represent people in a legal capacity and not as the mayor in those situations. There are lawyers around. We just need to ensure that as the community, we know how to contact them. If you need a list of attorneys, feel free to contact me and I'll provide you with a list of their names.
Yeah, I would say lawyers are pretty responsive. You know, with my loan company, Lunch Money Loans. If you need a loan, let me know. What? Don't boo me.
Just
Lawyers are pretty quick. No booing.
Shameless plug.
Listen.
Wait. I also want to throw this out there, Ronald, to just so every citizen understands this. I want everyone to understand that lawyers don't have to necessarily take on your specific case. If they say they're going to look into something, they may or may not have been able to figure out. Well, they probably have figured out that what you're asking for and what you want isn't something that's even remotely capable of them getting for you. And you have to understand that lawyers, especially private attorneys, can turn any client down that they feel they need to, because we are skilled in knowing what is a viable case and what is not a viable case. We're not going to waste your money to take a case to court that we know we're going to lose.
Was that you, Euro?
Thank you, thank you. Let's see here. All right, the question for Mr. Baker and Mr. Rump, you can answer. Do you think you could ever overcome Chief Justice Thorogood Morgan in a physical contest? Why? If it's a yes, why? If it's a no, why?
You know, as much as I really do enjoy the Chief Justice Morgan, I would say I think he's a little frail. He's getting up there in age. And I think a few good punches might take him down.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Listen, would you guys agree to follow the laws of LeBlanc? I don't even know what that means, but I'm getting yelled at for not asking stupid questions. So I guess I'll ask every question that comes in.
I don't think the laws of LeBlanc are laws that are enforceable. And I don't think anyone really knows what the laws of LeBlanc are. How many are there?
5,000.
Yeah, see, that's a no for me, LeBlanc. LeBlanc, just hold on to your cowboy hat, okay, buddy? It'll all be over soon.
Well, we're gonna circle back.
Cowboy hat, so
we're gonna circle back to the thoroughbred Morgan question. He's only 27. I don't think he's very frail.
He looks pretty frail to me, and he looks pretty old. I think he's lying about his age.
He's 27 though.
Did he doctor his birth certificate?
He is a judge, but he's 27.
Well, maybe he is Benjamin Button.
I've been told that he takes HGH and and I've been told he takes HGH.
Were you trying to say testosterone?
I couldn't say it. I gave up.
Little balls.
I'd
Like
still
you did in
take
your
him.
fight.
I'd still take him.
What are your thoughts on
into a boxing
steroids? Should they
match?
be legal?
You know, personally, I would have to have a conversation with our medical director, Hannah Sutton, to determine what the effects of those things are on the body, to be able to make a clear decision on whether or not it's something that should be outlawed or not. And again, that would have to come up to a vote with City Council.
Okay.
Great rapid fire questions, Ron.
Thanks. Listen, I don't think I have any more questions. I don't know. I keep getting yelled out for not asking questions, but there was like 50 of them that came through. They were repetitive, so I tried my best. Talking about the wages again. All right. All right. We'll give you 1 minute to the last words to the city before we go vote. We'll start with you, Mr. Rump. Go ahead.
Vote for me. I'm going to make your guns legal that you want. I'm going to help PD. I'm going to help medical people. No, I'm not going to look for my next ex-wife, according to what Ron thinks here.
I mean, you said it on social media, not me.
You sound like you have a problem with that.
Keep going. This isn't about me.
Mm-hmm. Anyways, I don't know. Free tacos, whatever. Vote for me.
Listen. Go ahead, Mr. Baker.
Of course, Ron. Thank you for giving me the time to speak directly with the community. Folks, as you go to the polls tonight, vote for who you think is going to do the best job. If you choose to vote for Mr. Rump, that is your choice. And I'll be okay with that, because this is a free and fair election. However, if you choose to vote for me and place your trust in myself and the members of the cabinet that I have presented before you, then I will do everything I can to ensure that our already great community continues to succeed and flourish. A vote for me is a vote that gives you all a voice, that gives you a seat at the table, and gives you transparency into our government. I'm not here to work for myself. I'm here to work for you. May God bless Lucid City and no place else.
Sorry, I was getting hit on by Goku.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody who came out. This
Boo.
debate is now over.
Yay,
Have a
good
good day.
job, Ron. Good job.
Thank
I
you.
wouldn't even call
Thank
that
you.
debate.
Thank you.
Mic
Can't be a debate
on.
when the moderator has it out for one of the candidates.
It can't be a debate when you're a fucking dumbass that doesn't shut the fuck up and want to ask stupid ass questions the whole time.
Are we still live?
I thought the
Remember,
question about
folks,
social media was
Pikachu
valid.
is up for
I'm
sale.
pretty sure I asked about all those.
$1 million.
No, you didn't.
You might get a milli for
If
that
you
shit.
if you can't afford it, come talk to me. Let's make a deal. The nightlife could be yours to run.
Bro, I'll give you 80K for it right now.
Keep an eye on Vibe for the next Find Raven competition.
Right now.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you, dude.
That's smart. 80K cash. Hard cash.
8K cash. Hard cash.
Are you still live? Hey, come to fucking City Hall if you want to vote or whatever. I'll be there. All right, I'm gonna go drive my car to City Hall. I'll be there.
Have you had enough to drink, mate?
No.
He's a little bit more.
All right, let's go get these votes put in
You
now.
went
We're
to
ready
fucking for the fucking debate, cunt.
to elect Dylan Baker.
That's why he kept leaving, coming back. That makes sense.
So, Ron, when are you going to disclose who got your vote? It is important. It is important, Ron. I've been
No,
working
it's
so
not.
hard to get your
Listen,
vote.
if after that debate you don't know who I'm voting for,
It's right here.
No, you're hopping in my car now. Yeah. Yes.
Wait,
I can tell you the first 10. I can tell you the first 10, but the golden rule you can't find out. Let me grab my book.
it would be funnier if you drive my car. You should probably just drive my car.
All right. So, rule number 1 of being a LeBlanc is you have to wear the cowboy hat at all times.
I need a ride.
You know, even if you have to wear a motorcycle helmet, you know, these cowboy hats have
my
built-in
house real fast,
helmets.
a local store.
They just don't have face shields.
I'll be right back.
You know, rule number 2 of LeBlanc is if you have the option of driving a pickup truck, muscle car, or sports car, you pick the pickup truck or muscle car.
Hey.
We don't really care for sports cars,
We're
supercars, all
fucking
that.
drinking, old man.
Now, most of these rules of LeBlanc must be followed if you are going to become a LeBlanc.
So,
And, you know, we have gotten a few of them. The third rule of LeBlanc is it's very simple. You must be good. You know, whether that's being good in heart, being just kind, and all that. You know, it's a mandatory rule of LeBlanc. Rule number 4 of LeBlanc is you must be goofy. There's no sense in being a LeBlanc if you're going to be the strictest motherfucker known to man.
What are the rules of LeBlanc?
I'm
I don't
reading
even know
them.
By the way.
The 5th rule of LeBlanc is we forgot rule 5 through 4,999. Except for rule 78, which is if LeBlanc, the true LeBlanc, likes a certain officer to a certain degree, they legally cannot leave the police department. Otherwise, they owe LeBlanc all their money and trucks.
And their soul.
And their soul, I forgot that, yeah. And the 5,000th rule of LeBlanc is LeBlanc is cool and doesn't deserve to be bullied.
Yeah, we're not agreeing to that.
Also,
Denied.
there's recently been a new rule added to the rule of Blanc. It's 5001. Sheriff's on top.
Hell no. Oh,
And then Hazel, and then he woke up.
Those are the 5,000 rules of LeBlanc.
oh my lord. Well,
Is there a storm coming soon?
No, not for another.
Hope you enjoyed.
7.5
I hope you
hours.
enjoyed the 5,000 rules of LeBlanc.
It's just raining. Well, goddamn, I'm getting my uniform wet. We don't want that. Gotta go back on duty, catch them criminals. It was nice to meet you, veteran.
Nice to meet you. My name's Norman. Maybe
Nice
you could
to meet-
take me on a ride along sometime.
You need to make a request within high command of the
Shut up,
police
pussy.
department. How? That was rude.
Where do I go for that?
Miss Quinn.
You can definitely like drop a.
Why does everybody want to vote for the dumb?
Can't listen dumb.